Welcome to another episode of the Return to the Sun of the Show. It's been a minute since we've all been together. I'm Paul,
I'm Mike.
I'm Nick.
And I'm Mark.
and tonight we're going to be doing something a lot different. Last week, ran out and saw the Superman movie, and had planned on making a video about it, a reaction video about it, that time, but things kind of happened, got out of hand. But as a result, because it's been like what, 2 weeks? Has it been in theater 2 weeks or 1 week?
One
1 week.
1 week.
Week, yeah.
All right. Well,
So
spoilers may
yeah.
Who calls me from out of the pit?
So Superman is a 2025 American superhero film based on the eponymous character from DC Comics, written and directed by James Gunn, famous for being on Marvel. But this is the first film in the new DC universe, or DC movie universe, DCU. And it's a reboot starring David Cornsweet, and that's not corn sweat, as Clark Kent Superman, alongside Rachel Brosnahan
Yeah.
as Lois Lane, Nicholas Hoult as the bad guy. You all know who he is. Edie Gathegi as Mr. Terrific, Anthony Kerrigan, Nathan Fillion, and Isabella Merced.
Nathan Fillion as Nathan Fillion.
Yes, being himself, yes.
So, guys, what'd you think of Superman? I mean, backhand.
Well, I thought it was great. It was better than I expected. I liked the actor who played Superman because he just came across as very human.
Mm-hmm.
Like when he was being interviewed by Lois, and he was kind of losing his cool a little bit. He wasn't necessarily able to explain his motives all that well, but he just knew that people were going to die. He had to stop it.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't know. I just thought that was an interesting take because usually Superman is so perfect and knows exactly what's going on.
Mm-hmm.
And the guy who played Lex Luthor, what was his name?
Nicholas Hoult.
I believe he also played the Beast in
Yeah.
the X-Men.
Yeah. And he was Renfield in Renfield. If you saw
Oh,
it.
really?
Yeah, that movie's great.
Okay. All right. Well, he was great.
Yeah.
And we don't have to mention the parallels between what might be happening now and
It's kind of hard to avoid that in anything anybody does anymore.
Right.
yeah. So somewhere else going.
I thought it was a lot of fun. It's a really fun take and good take on the characters.
Mm-hmm.
Mhm.
There's a scene. This really isn't too much of a spoiler because you see in the trailer the giant fire-breathing monster
Yeah.
that he's fighting.
Yeah.
There's a point where Superman says, more or less, I wish we could take it to an intergalactic zoo. And I was like,
Yeah.
right, as soon as he said, I was like, yes, that's the character.
Yeah.
Right? Like he was looking for some way to we can take this to a zoo, and I was like, oh, that just made the movie for me. Like right there, I was like, yep, they have it.
Yeah.
They figured this character out, and he's like you said, he's so human, and he's not perfect, but he's like everybody's a good Joe to him, or at least it's potential to be.
Mm-hmm.
And that's what really struck me. And it's a lot of fun. And like my girlfriend said, boy, that throws a lot at you. Like there is a lot going on in this movie.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, a lot of fun.
Yeah, I'll kind of pick up on that point. That I like the fact that in what is it, 3 or 4 sentences in the first 5 minutes, James Gunn establishes the entire DC
I
universe.
love that.
I love that was my
Yes.
it was as if you were literally jumping into a comic book for the first time, but in a comic book that's been set in a universe going on.
Mhm.
So it was like picking up a comic, and that front page in the comic that gives you a little bit of history of what you're getting into.
Yes.
And so the fact that we've dispensed with, everyone knows what metahumans are. Everybody knows Superman. He's been active for a while. I think what, 3 years.
Yeah.
And so like and then superheroes are a regular thing, and so I kind of, that's so different than Marvel. It just immediately leaps us into the world, and he's not gonna have to set up anything. He can pretty much pick whoever he wants and do a movie about them without the
Yeah.
elaborate setups
Yes.
that Marvel had to do.
Genius.
Yeah, so I thought that was a genius approach to setting up the universe. And yeah, David Cornsweet, he he does he's a spiritual, or maybe a soulful heir to Christopher Reeve without being an imitation of him, and that's what I like. So he's got the but they made him different, like Mike said. They the fact that he's young, he's kind of not. He's not perfect. He's making mistakes. He's trying to figure himself out, and so I do like that. I also like they nailed it with him. I think someone said that Superman's truth and justice is that you save everybody.
Mm-hmm.
Doesn't matter who you are, and that's, I mean, again, trying not to stray into politics,
Right.
but he definitely, yeah, that's not everybody's truth and justice. And so, and a very much a throwback to even the American way
Sure.
back when.
Yeah.
And so, I like that part about it too. And there's lots more to like in the movie, but that's just the beginning.
Well, see, for me, I love the fact that it was not a nostalgia trip,
No.
because that's what I was worried about going into it, was that, like, because as far as I'm concerned, the Chris Reeve Superman movie is it's my favorite superhero movie ever. It's, for me, it's perfect. And to just go back and reflect on it and pull the nostalgia from it would have been, why?
Mm-hmm.
Because, well, and Superman Returns did that.
Yeah,
Mhm.
That was a nostalgia fest.
we don't need that anymore.
No.
Right.
I love the fact that, to me, it was very much like a comic book, like you mentioned about the intergalactic zoo.
Mm-hmm.
It was like I was reading a 6-issue story arc in Superman that had guest appearances.
Yep.
That's what it felt like. If you ever wonder what
Mhm.
the good old days of comics were like,
Yeah.
that's what this felt like to me. It was Superman's comic, but to make the world seem coherent, they would have characters moving in and out of.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And I also, I was sold on this movie from minute one when I found out who was playing Lois Lane,
Mhm.
because uh, she was perfect.
Yeah.
Yeah.
She was, the world's going to hell, and she's writing stuff down and gathering up paperwork and stuff.
Right.
I thought she was perfect in it. Yeah, overall, I absolutely love this movie.
Yeah. The side characters, I think, were very well done. I was worried, it's going to have too many characters, but
Mm-hmm.
I mean, Mr. Terrific. I mean, it's a character most people have no idea even exists.
Right.
Oh, they know he exists now.
But he's, he's one of the best parts of his movie.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
And, I like the Metamorpho. I always liked the character.
Mm-hmm.
He was an interesting character in this. Of course, Green Lantern, Guy Gardner, was fun.
Yeah.
I like the middle fingers when he's trying.
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah.
Because he's kind of he was less of a jerk in the movie than he was in the comics.
Yeah.
Mhm.
But also Crypto
Yeah. Yeah.
was awesome.
Mhm.
I'm trying to figure out who stole the show more,
Yeah,
Right.
Mr. Terrific or Crypto.
yeah,
Yeah.
Yeah.
yeah, yeah. Crypto acted like a real dog, which was
Mhm.
interesting. Like he wasn't necessarily super intelligent. He was like he would jump and knock people over and stuff.
Yeah.
which would be extremely dangerous. Like if you did that to a normal person.
Right.
Right.
Yes.
Yes.
Right.
But yeah, but yeah, I loved Crypto.
Crypto is like having a boxer.
Mm-hmm.
Because
Yeah,
It's great.
they're just a wrecking ball.
Yeah.
yeah, boxers are nuts.
No, I like the um like there's like you're getting to Lois Lane's
Mhm.
gathering information about this big story, and she and Jimmy Olsen are presenting it to Perry White. Like,
Mhm.
so like, well, the
Mhm.
world's going to hell. And there's this shot of like everyone's running around the Daily Planet, and Perry White's just sitting there with a cigar in his mouth, like, all right, what do you got?
Right.
It's like, that's so perfect.
Yeah, yeah.
Like no, like they're not panicking. Perry's not panicking. He's like, okay, yeah, this is good, and people are running around screaming. I thought that was really fun. There's there's some fun little touches with the side characters. Like there's a shot of Guy Gardner in a diner with a bowl of Fruit Loops or something.
Yeah.
Just like it cracked me up. It was like that's just weird. And like you said, I loved how again, it's the old adage of from a writer's perspective is you start as close to the end as possible. You go into a scene late, you get out early.
Mhm.
The whole thing, like everyone knows, like Superman comes from Krypton. And, like you don't
Yeah.
need to establish that
Nope.
yet again.
No.
Right.
Which I can remember thinking like I couldn't help but think it because there's a scene in the movie. Again, not a big spoiler, where like there's a traffic. Like you see traffic and you see a sign for Gotham City, like an exit for Gotham
Yeah.
City.
Yeah.
And I couldn't help but think, if Gunn does a Batman movie, will we finally get one where you don't see the Waynes killed yet again?
Correct.
And it's like everyone knows
Yeah.
why Batman is Batman by now. We
Right.
not need to see the Waynes shot down yet
No.
again.
Yeah, and the pearls.
Yeah, exactly.
bouncing
Like,
out.
we don't need that.
Right.
Yeah.
Uncle Ben.
Yeah.
Marvel. Yeah. We don't need him dying
So,
every time. Yeah.
See, I love that, and you're. I hadn't really considered what you said about. Yeah, he can just like put whoever he wants in this movie.
Mm-hmm.
He doesn't have to establish an
Mhm.
origin. He can mention something like on the side, sure.
Yeah.
But yeah, and the interview scene with Lois
Mhm.
interviewing Superman is so well written.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh man, like and it's just so well done. It's almost like a centerpiece of the movie.
Mhm. Yeah. Kind of a closing of the first act almost.
Yeah.
That scene.
Yeah, totally.
No, and I think the introduction of Mr. Terrific is because for me he stole the show. But his introduction is perfect. So the regular viewing audience, now those of us that are nerds and read JSA, I mean, it does look like they picked him right out of the cover of a JSA
Yes.
comic. I mean, it's
Yep.
perfect. But they gave, here's a brand new superhero. James Gunn gave you just enough information, almost like the old X-Men, Mr. Terrific, he's this,
Mhm.
this, and this. And that's all you need to know. That's, when they do his solo movie, which I'm sure they will now, we can go more into it, but you don't, he didn't. The regular viewing audience now has a good handle on who Guy Gardner is,
Mhm.
who Hawkgirl is, and who he is, and so that was perfect.
Right, and that's another thing about for me is like to me, okay, and I love my Marvel movies.
Mhm.
I absolutely love my Marvel movies. Marvel did this thing where they had to consider the layperson that doesn't know all
Yeah.
the lore, doesn't
Right.
never read a comic in their life, and because they know they were going to have a base, but they wanted to bring in more.
Mhm.
Well, this was almost a flip where he's like, you know what, I'm going to make this for comic fans,
Mhm.
and the rest of the world's going to love it too.
Well, and I think, the big difference, I've seen some commenters saying, so you have to remember what Marvel's been around now for what, 15?
It's from 2008.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So it was a different world back then. Superhero comic books were not the thing. And so James Gunn doesn't. Marvel did James Gunn's work for him. By doing
they had the heavy
they
lifting.
set up, they made superheroes acceptable to the general audience and made them interested in superheroes. So now James Gunn doesn't have to do that anymore. He can just
Right.
jump right into it. And people are going to accept these characters where in 2008 they wouldn't have. And so
Yeah.
I'm not criticizing. I think Marvel's way of doing it was perfect for what they had to do. I'm just saying he was smart, not repeating that. He's not creating building a DC universe in the same way.
Right.
And so, I also think it's kind of it's moving away from what was established already in the DC EU. And so, I like that idea. But yeah, I just think, I mean, the general public now is just wild for Mr. Terrific. So, and it didn't need a whole bunch of baggage with it to introduce him. So that was cool.
Yeah. Plus, DC is different. You know, a lot of the characters people have seen their whole lives.
Mm-hmm.
You know, Superman and Batman, and Wonder Woman, especially. You know, obviously, nobody knows who Mr. Terrific is, but well,
Not many know
I
Hawkgirl
did.
or even Hawkman. They don't
Yeah.
or remember them. You know,
Right. But um, but I mean, well, I guess my point is with a Superman movie, you can kind of get away with that more than you could with Iron Man,
Right.
because yeah, everybody knows who Superman is, and everybody knows he's Clark Kent. Everybody knows Lois Lane. Everybody.
Spoilers.
Right.
Oh, sorry.
Well, and I just like the fact that,
Mhm.
like with Guy Gardner, there's a point where he's just all frustrated. He's like, "Look, I was picked by a bunch of space cops. I'm a space cop, and there's a bunch of us." And I'm like, "That's perfect. Just a little ants."
Yeah, that's what I'm
That's all
saying.
you needed. Just a
your,
little.
your guest appearances and your comic art. It just comes in, says their shtick.
Yep. And
so the reader knows.
But yeah, no, I think Marvel had to do what Marvel did.
Yeah.
I'm not criticizing Marvel. I just think it's interesting. He knows that now, and he knew he didn't have to do all that. So, I mean, threw in Peacemaker there for those of us who watched Peacemaker, which was great. I mean, and so I thought that was clever to tie in Peacemaker.
Yeah.
So,
who doesn't kill?
Doesn't kill. Yeah. So,
I also like, and I hope they stick with this, is kind of what you said something, and it reminded me that there's a difference between DC characters and Marvel characters, and what I'm hoping is more costume and less tactical gear. You know, Marvel kind of eased into the tactical gear. Everything's military, paramilitary. But Mr. Terrific's walking around in like his whatever suit you want to, like a biker suit done up like with his brand name on it.
Yeah.
And he doesn't need to look like he works for some secret organization or the military.
Right.
I just want more superhero costumes in the DC movies to come.
Somebody posted on Facebook. They posted a picture of like one of the darkest scenes in the Avengers, and then not the Avengers. One of the really dark scenes in Man of Steel, and then the really bad last reboot of Fantastic Four, which was all dark, and then like finally superhero comic. The movies are looking more like the comics because now it's got the colorful. I mean, Fantastic Four is definitely going for classic 60s superhero comic. So yeah, hopefully, I agree with you. I'm hoping we're moving into that where it doesn't have to be realistic anymore.
Yeah, I've noticed that. Just across the board, people are more willing to accept the costumes and stuff.
I read or heard something about Superman's costume, how they weren't going to do the trunks on the outside, but the actor pushed for it and said something, basically told Gunn something like, well, he would do this so he would look kind of silly, so kids wouldn't be afraid of him.
Yeah,
and Gunn was like, "Oh, I can't argue that."
That's a bad take, honestly. On a way to justify wearing your underwear on the outside.
And I read somewhere else like there was also talk about how they kind of mentioned how like maybe like Superman as a kid like saw professional wrestlers and kind of like they dress. I thought like, well, maybe if I dress like that, they would kind of like kids would relate to that somehow. Or I want to say that. Please don't quote me on that internet. I want to say
right. Well, I've heard.
I mentioned down below.
His costume originally was based on a circus performance.
That makes good.
I mean, back in the 40s or whatever.
Yeah, taking into consideration the era.
Yeah, it does.
Another thing I liked, and I don't usually like this character. Right? I think he's kind of a goon, but Jimmy Olsen was actually really interesting in this.
Yeah.
Yeah, and he was just kind of I mean, he still was kind of comic in a way. But they made him he wasn't like, gee, Mr. Cat.
Right.
He was, he's a smart guy.
Yeah.
It's kind of a shyster too, like
Hmm.
playing people and stuff.
But he was driving part of the plot.
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
mean, which I thought was interesting.
Yeah.
Yeah, he had a full arc in the
Uh-huh.
movie, and so did Lex's girlfriend,
Yeah.
Eve, who is apparently Jimmy's ex-girlfriend,
Yeah.
Jimmy Olsen. And I was going to look it up before we did the video, but I forgot. Someone says her last name's Tessmacher, so it is a reference.
Oh,
She
Oh.
is Eve Tess. She's Ms.
Oh.
Tessmacher
Nice.
from the original Superman.
Oh,
So
okay.
she's a shout out to that. I can't verify that. Let me know in the comments.
Nice.
But someone thought Eve was actually Tessmacher.
Hmm.
So
I wonder. When I was watching it, I did kind of wonder if that's
Yeah.
the case.
Hmm.
So, and of course, in the 78th Superman, she helped save Superman from Lex and stuff.
Right.
But I thought they did with her that was clever. That she appears to be this airhead who then
oh,
is
that was
cleverly.
brilliant.
The fact that she was showing all the evidence in the backs of her
And-
selfies.
And not like we saw it happen in real time.
Right.
Yes,
There were some scenes where she was doing it, and you're
Yeah.
like, "Oh, she's just some dumb broad."
Yeah.
But no, she turned out to be the smart broad.
Yeah, yeah. So I like that part too, and I also like just sort of the batshit comic booky. He invents a pocket universe. Okay,
Right.
yeah, and can teleport through this pocket
Yeah,
universe, and
right.
it's just there. It's his science. there's no. Okay, I'm along for the ride, so I'm going with it. So I thought that was and his super villain prison, his prison for people he doesn't like. I thought was clever too. I mean, it's just very again talk about superhero esque.
I did wonder when they first show the portal to that they go. So I wonder, is that a boom tube?
See, I thought the same thing.
Like,
Yeah,
are we going to
Yeah.
apocalypse now?
Yeah.
'Cause I'm all in.
Yeah.
But,
Yeah.
like, this is what
Yeah.
we're doing.
Hmm.
I did wonder that.
I thought Boom Tomb too. Yep, exactly.
Yeah.
Because I thought, are we going to get a cameo of Cyborg? Because he does Boom Tubes now.
Mm.
So, but
And I loved, man, the actors they got to play Mom, Pa, Kent.
Mhm.
yes,
Man, just like,
yeah,
like they look so much like real people. So to
yes,
speak. And the scene of Ma Kent yelling at the phone.
Yeah.
yes, yes.
It's just like, oh, that's so brilliant.
Yeah.
Like it's just such a nice touch.
Mhm.
Yeah, I thought that was really good.
Yeah, they felt kind of like Vaughn used a derogatory term. I think they seemed kind of like rednecks. Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah, and they weren't just carbon copies of what we think
Yeah,
of
right.
as Mom Pa
Correct,
Kent,
correct.
because in 2025 that look doesn't fly. Even if you are
Right.
older,
Uh-huh.
you're still not that old that you're going to look like
Yeah.
Right.
what you think of with Mom
Yes.
Pa Kent.
Right.
Right.
But yeah, I mean, yeah.
They look like people.
Right.
Yes.
Yes.
Like,
Yeah.
And they didn't have a 1950s or older truck on their phone.
Yeah.
No, of course not. No.
Like
Yeah.
every farmer in every movie ever.
Right.
Right. Right.
Well, and speaking of parents, I guess we should talk about the elephant in the room. Big spoiler. So
Mm.
yeah. So stop watching
Yeah,
if you
from here
haven't
on,
seen
it's
the
going to be
movie. Now we're
spoilers.
going to get in the spoilers. So
Here there be spoilers.
I really liked the change in the lore. I
Yeah.
thought it was really clever that Jor-El may not have been
Yeah.
good or well intentioned, but it
Mm.
comes out really bad,
Yes.
bad sounding.
Mhm.
Of what he wants Superman to do. I think the for me it would have been okay till he has the whole take on your harem.
Yeah.
I was like, oh, there's no coming back from that.
Yeah. There's a line you can cross.
Yeah.
Right.
And he
If
crossed.
he had just said, go, they're a backwards planet, go there, lead them, become their leader, lead them to a better tomorrow.
Yeah.
That might have been, but the fact that, be their ruler and take a harem
Well,
and spread the Krypton seed.
Right.
But
that's what happens when Jor-El is Bradley Cooper.
yeah, exactly. Yeah.
I like that. What I really liked about that was now you get the whole nature versus nurture
Mhm. Yep.
story
Yep.
play out, which was kind of cool.
Yeah. And it gave Kent an opportunity to give his sons advice.
Yes.
But yeah, I really like that too. I thought, maybe a lot wouldn't like it. I don't know. What's his
I
opinion.
haven't paid attention to what the the gatekeepers' reaction.
Yeah.
I don't
I
care.
don't care. Yeah.
But I know it's doing really well, and its ratings are really good.
Yeah.
Um,
I also think for me, it takes Krypton
Mhm.
off the map now. So now we don't have to mess with that anymore because he's really not going to be interested in going
Yeah.
back to a planet. So we don't, there's still kryptonite around, which is cool. But and we may or may not have Bizarro back.
Right.
Which I thought that was cool. You kind of knew going in that the what do they call him?
Ultraman.
Ultraman. Although at a certain point when he gets damaged and he stands up with his mass damage, I thought for sure it was Doomsday.
Yeah, I think that was
That was on purpose. Yeah.
Mhm.
So, but I thought that was interesting. It kind of reminded me of Superman 3 a little bit, where Clark fights the evil version of himself.
Right.
So I thought that was kind of cool. So and I thought the engineer was great as a villain.
I never even heard of her.
So she's from Wildstorm and the Authority,
Mhm.
which they have Planet Watch in the movie, which I believe
Yes.
it was Storm
That's right.
Watch in the
That's
comic,
right.
and then becomes the Authority. So
Mhm.
so that's and she's straight from the Authority
Oh.
years. So that'll be interesting if they go there, and I think they are going to do an Authority movie from what I hear. So
Is that going to be like the dark, broody one that ruins?
well, he
other
said
things?
so. James Gunn just came out recently and said um, that there is no DC style.
Mhm.
So he is not, he says people we're going to tell stories.
Yeah.
And whatever tone works for the story is what we'll do.
Hmm.
So he's like, don't expect every movie that now comes out to be just like Superman. Other ones might have different tone. Other one might be for different audiences.
Mhm.
So I think that's great. That's
Sure.
Yeah, it's a reflection of the comics.
exactly. You're going to find your niche with what you like. And so, I mean, clearly they established. I mean, big spoiler again. Clearly, they established Supergirl is not going to be Superman for sure.
Right.
Yeah.
So that's going to be a different movie. I'm sure a different kind of movie.
Mhm.
And so it'll be interesting. I think I like this idea.
Yeah.
And James Gunn said he's not going to be making everything. He's not in total control of everything. So
Right.
He's just get here. All right. You're welcome. Now, take it and run with it.
yeah.
Is there going to be a Batman movie in this universe?
So
I kind of think there should.
they're gonna finish up. He wants. I had read it turned out to be fake news. But so they're gonna finish up. There apparently I just came out today. No Penguin season 2 for television, but there is going to be a Batman 2 for sure, and then a Batman 3, and then that universe will be done. And then maybe once that's all wrapped up, they'll introduce a Batman in this universe. But there hasn't really been anything said.
Yeah.
So I don't know, but maybe out there I know people have been taking the movie apart and watching it frame by frame to see if there was any kind of hints. Like my son found in the Hall of Justice, which was, by the way, let's just say the Hall of Justice was awesome. Come on,
Yeah.
just
I was grinning.
me too.
And I loved how it's not finished yet. Like
No,
like they're still building it.
Yeah.
like, moving stuff in.
Yeah. But my son pointed out one of the murals is a painting of the Justice Society of America.
Right.
So they've been around too. And so I don't know if there's any hints of Batman other than the Gotham sign, but I'm sure someone in the comments can let us know. But I've heard he's going to let those movies finish up. So,
Yeah. And that makes sense.
yeah. I mean, he is going to do Clayface. I don't know if it'll be who. I have no
Who's
idea.
Clayface fight if it's not Batman?
If it's not Batman, I don't
Right.
know. So, so I have no idea, but I'm sure it won't be Ben Affleck. I'm sure.
Right.
Yeah.
I could see him doing something like maybe in I don't know the next Superman movie or what have you, like dropping a hint or setting something up, like I don't know, Jimmy Olsen makes a call for a story and he calls his buddy Jim Gordon.
Right.
Exactly.
Yeah.
You just like drop one character in and like the fandom goes crazy.
Yes. Yeah.
Right.
You know, and like, oh my God, he's gonna do it. You know, that kind of, or something like that.
My son and I were joking on the way a couple days ago that we'd like to see sort of the Neil Adams sort of blue and gray Batman,
that would be
blue,
cool. Yeah.
the blue and
Yeah,
gray suit.
we've seen enough of the black and gray.
Correct,
Right.
correct.
You know, do the blue and
Don't
gray.
we don't have to go as far as Adam West. We don't have to go that
Right.
far.
Sure.
But maybe the Batman, like a Batman from the superhero, the Super Friends cartoons. I mean, that'd be
Totally.
something like that, just something different.
Mhm.
So, but yeah, we'll see. We'll see. It'll be interesting.
Yeah. Yeah.
Well, the good news is we don't know. I think that's what makes so everyone keeps talking about superhero fatigue. I think what James Gunn's also successfully done is now people are excited again because now we don't know what we're going to get. You know, there's no preview. There's no the again spoilers. The thing at the end, the final clip was just a little joke clip,
Mhm.
and so we're not going to be spoon fed what this universe is. So I think that's kind of exciting.
Yeah.
So
Keeps it
Oh
fresh.
yeah, there was some. I wanted to mention that clip at the end. Um, to me, I don't know. Was it trying to establish some kind of like now this is the way things are going to be like that the robot is repaired, but he's got that crack,
Mm-hmm.
and then we see that building with the crack, where it didn't quite match up.
It's a good question.
Is it like?
Never thought about that. I
Yeah.
thought it all was all just being played for yucks.
Mm.
Well, yeah, it was, but I just was thinking about it later, and it's like, um, I thought maybe it was saying now after the events of this movie, things are going to be different. Kind of like
Mm-hmm.
they're not.
Yeah, that's actually pretty.
Yeah. Pretty astute. Yeah.
Well,
I just thought they were funny scenes.
well, I think too much.
I mean, it could be. It could, or it's a sign that I don't know. Is the universe been put back together not quite right? So that we'll let them do.
Like, who knows if this is correct, but there's a fun way to sort of start establishing Bizarro World.
Yeah, exactly. Yes, absolutely. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Like all the events of the movie and the black hole and stuff. Like it's
Right.
created this
Mm-hmm.
little thing. You know, you're gonna
Yeah.
create this Bizarro World.
We've turned into a speculation video.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Sorry.
Well, and there, I mean, now I'm sure there might be somebody in the comments who says because we keep talking about it's not set in the real world. It's more superhero, but it does have. I mean, there's another elephant
Right.
standing in the room. There is a few real world parallels in this movie for sure.
Definitely.
So, I wasn't bothered by any of it. I liked it. I thought it was. I mean, it was. I think a legitimate question. What would the world do if Superman suddenly, you know, put himself into, which is not. People are complaining like, well, why are they doing this story where Superman's getting involved in politics? Come on, he threw away all the nuclear weapons in Superman 4.
Right.
Mhm.
He got involved in politics. So don't tell
Yes.
me Superman hasn't done this,
Mhm.
So I mean, he decided to disarm the whole world with nuclear weapons in Superman 4. So I mean, that's Superman. Superman's going to get involved no matter what to help
Mhm.
people. And so I kind of but I like the real world parallel. I mean, I did think the I don't remember the name of the made up countries, but the head of the country invading was definitely like, wow, that's turn on the news, you'll see who that was for sure.
Yeah.
I mean,
Mhm.
so I mean, there were some real world parallels. So
Yeah.
so not completely fantasy in this
Right.
show. So
Well, and like the Justice League International books and the ones that Keith Giffen wrote and Jim DeMatteis were like,
yeah,
there are whole story arcs of the Justice League going into, is it Bialia?
yeah,
Yeah.
Like, so like there's plenty of politics there where like they're
yeah.
fighting like another country's superheroes and
Right.
getting involved in domestic stuff there and foreign stuff there. Like, yeah,
Hmm.
yeah, Superman in politics is not new.
No.
Yeah,
Right.
political.
In fact,
political themes being reflected. I should
Yeah,
say.
one of the comic
Yeah.
books that just came out recently. They're doing a Superman 78 comic book series, so it's a direct sequel to the 78 movies and movie. and Superman 2. And so in the latest one, he ends up, so the Soviet Union ends up with Lex Luthor, ends up creating their version of Superman that he has to fight. I mean, so it's been in the comics for, you know, forever.
It's like that Saturday Night Live sketch. What if Superman landed in Germany?
Mm-hmm.
And he's a
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, and they did, who, I can't remember who did the comic, what was Red Superman, Red Sun, where he landed in Russia.
Yep.
So,
Right.
so I'll just say one thing about the real world stuff. I think one of my favorite lines in the movie is that Lex Luthor, his reward, although it turns out not to be the plot, at first it looks like he's trying to take over a country and be made king, which I thought was a clever, nice little line.
Yeah.
But although that ends up not being his, I thought that was interesting that they didn't. For me, for a minute there, it almost sounded like the real estate deal that Luthor was doing in Superman 78.
Yeah.
And then they turned that on its head. Nope, that was just my cover. Oh, I'm just doing it because I hate you.
Right.
And so I think that part of, and the look on Nicholas Holt's face when they put him in the military vehicle at the end, I'm like, God, he was great. He was a good Luthor.
Mm-hmm.
So
Yeah.
I do think there's like the scene where Superman comes into his office and flips his desk and
yeah.
I did think that was a bit of and he's just sitting there sipping his tea or coffee.
Yeah.
I did think that was a bit of a kind of like salute to Gene Hackman in the scene where Superman kicks in. He's like, "Come in, doors unlocked, come on in." And he's just sitting there not worrying at all. It's like, oh, that's so good.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, nice little touches without it being like hitting you over the head. Yeah, stuff like that. Yeah.
Yeah. Another thing is that when Lex is in his little that room that's actually a spaceship or whatever.
Yeah.
And he's talking to all his goons, telling him to do stuff. And one of them is named Otis.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, that's right. You're right. Yep.
Yep.
Yeah.
That's true. I thought that was clever too that he had studied all of Superman's moves
Right.
in the last 3 years to give so that they could fight him, which I thought was kind of clever. That's something Lex would do. It makes sense.
Yeah, I think Lex studied Superman's moves more than Superman studied his own moves.
Correct. Correct.
So that's kind of a bit of an obsession there.
I just hope Aiden and I were talking. Our hope is that this will drive Lex in a future Superman movie to don the green and purple armor. I so want to see the superpowers toy come to life. That would be great. Or in his classic Challenge of the Super Friends costume.
That nice purple and green.
Green look.
Suit.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
That would be awesome. Or I mean, I think James Gunn, we've got a Hall of Justice. Why can't we have a Legion of Doom in a swamp?
Right.
Yeah.
So I'm if they want to do that, I'm all for it. I'm all for having a Legion of Doom show
Darth Vader head.
Yeah, that Darth Vader head, right?
Swamp.
Yeah. Love it. I would love to see that.
And I would love to see. He could do it, or anyone really could do it. But it would be fun to see his take on, in a future movie, a Superman Flash race.
Oh yeah,
I could see like there are so many like ways, like humorous ways, to set that up. If he ever decides to bring Flash in, to see how that would play out.
Yeah, I think it'd be. Yeah,
I know there's talk of it. 'Cause I've seen all these rumors about. I think he wants to get Grant Gustin, and he was thinking about Elliot Page, and he was thinking about somebody else. I can't remember who the other one was.
I know Grant Gustin wants to come back as Flash. The thing is, let's face it, with the Flash universe, you could have them all. Because Flash, Kid Flash, Impulse,
right.
So you could have. With the Speed Force, Jesse Quick. You could have them. You could have them all. So I think. Even as we're talking here, I'm more excited now. Because I think everybody was having superhero fatigue, and so now I'm kind of looking forward to what he does next, or what he has people do next. So
I'm also looking forward to Fantastic Four a lot. Those are the two movies that I want to see this year, for sure. But yeah, I know what you. I don't know. I don't really think superhero fatigue is a thing necessarily, but
I think it's like going from, like, if all you get is Coca-Cola.
Right.
You get kind of burned out on Coca-Cola.
Mm-hmm.
So then, there's more soft drinks than just Coca-Cola.
Yeah. Yeah. Unless you live in Texas, then everything's cool.
That's true.
But who'd want to live in Texas?
Right. Couldn't pay me to live
No,
in
me
Texas.
But yeah, like when we were younger, I always used to say this about science fiction. You know, the there weren't a lot of options, so we
Yeah.
savored what we had.
Yeah.
Um, like the Superman movies and the Batman TV show were pretty much it. Oh, and Wonder Woman.
Yeah.
And Shazam, ISIS.
I think what I mean by fatigue is Council of Geeks said it on her
Uh-huh.
show. She was talking about the fact that what's happened is, it's been around for 15 years now. We've had superhero movies for 15 years.
Mm-hmm.
And so what used to be, you were on the edge of your seat, you wanted to see the trailer, you couldn't wait. A lot of stuff was like, oh, okay, Marvel's doing another show.
Yeah.
Or, oh, okay, that's another. I mean, it's become familiarity breeds contempt. It's just become familiar. And I think now, and I think I was falling into that rut because there's stuff I haven't watched every superhero thing that's been coming out. But I'm more apt now to grab a DC show than I am. I'm definitely going to be looking more forward to those to see what they do next. So that's what's sparked back in me is with Marvel. I'm like, okay, cool, that'll be cool to see. And I mean, Fantastic Four, I'm hoping will be the same way that Superman was.
Yeah, the vitamin D shot in the arm.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
All right, well, guys, final thoughts on Superman or the direction the movies are headed. Final thoughts.
Well, I'm just interested to see what they do next. Yeah, I like that they have the Hall of Justice, and I'm wondering what other characters they're going to introduce and when. Who's going to play them? Yeah, it's kind of like revitalized my interest. Like you said with the Marvel movies, and I still love the Marvel movies, but
Yeah,
but it's kind of ho hum sometimes.
yeah.
Because another one's coming out. But yeah.
For me, I guess the biggest thing was it was so nice after, and come at me, Snyder Bros, I guess, but it was so nice just to see just such a hopeful take on the character, and like someone who's just like he talks about like maybe being kind's the new punk rock. It's like yes, it is.
Yes.
Being nice is the new punk rock. I've been saying that for years. So I was like, yes, Superman gets it.
Yeah.
So yeah, just like it was so refreshing just to see again, like they got the character right, and really and it's like you said, even all the side characters, they just everybody nailed it, and so yeah, I'm looking forward to where he goes from here. I'm sure, just like I was just thinking this, like I'm sure everybody's thinking or maybe hoping for Brainiac in the next movie.
Yeah.
I can't help but think I'd like to see Toyman.
I think, Toyman.
You could have like a lot of fun stuff with that.
Or Mr. Mixel.
Which they, which I couldn't help but wonder, did they kind of reference him? And there's a scene in the movie where where the Justice Gang is fighting the interdimensional thing outside. And he just says, "Oh, it's just like this interdimensional imp thing." That,
Oh yeah.
It's like I wonder, it's like, is that a Mixelplex reference?
And that scene, by the way, great.
Oh yeah,
Especially the Green Lantern baseball bats hitting the interdimensional being.
Yes. And again, another really good scene between him and her.
Yes.
Like he's like, there's even that moment was like, boy, that hot cook is really good.
Yeah.
God, yes, like, man, again, you just nailed this character so well.
Right.
Yeah. So that's I'm really just so happy that they got the characters right. That for me was the biggest thing.
Yeah, like Superman actually rescues people.
Yeah.
And does so a lot.
Yes.
I think he made a point of having him rescue a bunch of people.
And cats and squirrels.
And squirrel.
Yeah. He's that squirrel.
Yeah, mine'll be as I was just happy to finally make it through a Superman movie for the first time in a long time.
Yeah.
So I'd come at me, Snyder Bros, because I could not make it through his movies. There wasn't one of those I finished, and so I was happy to again, and as someone else said that this movie proves three things: that kindness is punk rock, truth and justice is saving everyone, and everyone matters, and then millionaires are evil. And so, so I'm all
Yeah.
I can buy that. I can back that.
Yeah. Well, I want ambush bug.
Oh
Yeah, sure.
All right. On that note, we're gonna wrap this one up. Just like in the beginning, I'm Paul,
I'm Mike.
Nick.
I'm Mark.
and this has been the return of the son of the show.